Welcome to Admin Setup on how to create bookkeeping workflow. Step one, you're going to create a business type. So I go to Admin, select Business Type, and then you create, in this example, the software that we've already given you should have a business type bookkeeping. And I'm also going to refer you to all these steps I'm going to go through are actually already covered in our overall workflow, creating a workflow, and it's found in the help link. Go to training videos, scroll down, how to create workflow, 8 steps. Step 1 is create a business type. So you can just follow these videos. So I'm not going to get detailed about it because they're already covered in each one of these videos. I'm going to refer back to it as I go through each step. So step 1 is create the business type, very straightforward. Step 2, create office events. Now I am going to kind of focus in on the specific office events you would be looking at for bookkeeping. So this video will be helpful here. Watch this, and then I'm going to give you some more tips. I'll go back to my demo, go to Admin, I'm going to go to Event Status, and I'm going to select Bookkeeping. Now I already have it all set up. I'm just going to go over some of the columns that you'd really want to focus in on. So let's look at weekly payroll. So for weekly payroll, and again, you should already have this created for you. And when you create your office events, we're going to give you a boilerplate of what we think the majority of bookkeeping offices might want, like weekly payroll, biweekly, monthly, sales tax, Form 940, 941, W-2. But yours obviously is going to probably be different than what we're giving you. So you can customize it, you can change the name, you can go ahead and delete it, make them inactive if you'd like, or create new ones. And again, I'm going to refer you to how to create office events, but we've already have a video on that. That is very straightforward. All right, let's go back to weekly payroll. So right here, the column where it says recurrence days, what that means is if you want this, so for weekly payroll, I want this event to reoccur obviously once a week. So every 7 days. So I'm going to put a 7 in here. Okay. If you look down for biweekly, it's 14 days. So this is important if you're doing bookkeeping, setting up bookkeeping workflow. Notifications days, if you'd like an individual, whoever's responsible for doing this task, I guess whoever does weekly payroll, you want to have them have a task assigned to them prior to it popping up saying weekly payroll is due. You can put something in here. In this case, we have -2, so that means that individual, and the individual is the person in the account information section where it's labeled user. That would be the individual who's responsible for that, and it would show up in their assigned task. But typically, this field's actually left blank, and I don't think it's really needed. So I would recommend just probably leaving it blank. Then we're going to go to disable account field requirement error check. So what this means is in your account information section, and I'll go there really quick to show you. I'm going into Family Barbershop. And the account information, this is what I'm referring to, the account information section. So when I talked about the responsible user, that would be this person right here, Jim. So what I'm talking about right now is there's like an error check that we can shut off. So we have it set up that all these fields need to be completed before you can change the status. So for bookkeeping, there's probably a lot of these fields you don't need because this is kind of really tied for tax preparation. So I would shut that off so you don't get an error message. So if I go back now to my admin page, so right here it says disable account field requirement error check. For bookkeeping, I would check this box because it just gets annoying when you try to create an office event and it says, no, you don't have all your account fields filled in. Next one, add-on creation of account. What you want to do here is, so whenever you add a brand new client, and say you always do weekly payroll for all your clients, that's all you do, and you always will do a 940, you always do sales tax, and obviously probably W-2 preparation. So whenever you create a brand new client, you'd like those office events automatically to populate. So in that case, you would just check this box, so add-on creation of account. And you can always change it. So say for some, if the one client decides he doesn't want to do sales tax, well then when you add the client, you can just delete that office event. So it's not a big deal. But this is just a way of trying to make it quicker for you to set up all your events for that particular client. Next column here, recurring notes. So we have down here need payroll hours. So what that means is every time this office event is created, so every 7 days when it reoccurs, a note will display saying need payroll hours. So it's just like a nice friendly reminder, whoever's responsible for doing payroll, that need payroll hours. Now this is globally, so this would happen for every single client you have that's doing weekly payroll for. You're going to see this note populate if you want to have something like that. Last column here, copy. This feature is helpful if, so as you add a new year, so say right now we're currently in 2016, so when 2017 comes through and I want to add a new year, so I can stay organized by year for my bookkeeping clients, it would automatically copy this office event to the next year. So I don't have to go through this all over, do the setup process all over again for my existing clients. That's what the copy feature is for. Again, this is kind of just a brief overview. I definitely would recommend watching the admin videos for office event setup, but I just kind of wanted to touch base on the ones that are particular related to bookkeeping. All right, now the other admin setup you'll have is where you have client notifications, predefined notes, and a checklist. And again, I'm going to refer you back to right here where we talk about all those things. How do you set up a predefined note? How do you set up a checklist? How do you set up, it also goes into like your upload types, your task types, your transaction types. So this is going to tell you how to do it. I just want to kind of give you an idea for related to bookkeeping. So I'm going to also show you now, the next video regarding setting up your workflow for bookkeeping is going to be how do you set up a client. So this is how you do the admin side and how do you set up the client, and I'm going to show you how some of these admin features now will come into play once you're inside the client file. Thank you.